Sweat Equity Podcast and streaming show, the number one comedy / business.
I don't give a shit.
And the number one business / comedy. I'm putting my fanny pack right up there. Yeah, bro. I'm serious. 2 fanny packs. I got 2. I'm going to get one every fucking color. Listen to us.
You own 2. You don't wear 2 at the same time. I checked to see if you were wearing another one.
I didn't even think about that.
Were you going to get your phone out to write that down?
My mind is blown.
Wear 2 fanny packs tomorrow.
Come on, Evernote. Put it in here.
Shit.
Hey, the numbers keep going up. That's good. If you're listening to this in your ear holes right now, share this with a friend.
I don't give a shit.
Share this with your crazy mom, your mom's crazy friend that wears turquoise jewelry. You know, alternative medicine friend. You know,
Ice in the white wine.
She's trying to become a practitioner for a health and wellness company.
Right. Yes.
You know, help her out. Send her this. Or you got someone that's a young kid, a young plucky high school kid that wants to, is very entrepreneurial. Send him this. He's in DECA. She is in DECA. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I'm losing.
Get out of high school. You're in high school. Get out of high school.
I love high school boys. What? Sorry.
I'm gonna come.
Share our Apple Podcast, Spotify. We're on every platform you can listen to podcasts. This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace, the best website builder. You don't need to be a programmer. You don't need to be a designer. You have SEO function that fucking blow away WordPress. I just found that out.
Ooh.
By the way.
Really?
Yeah, now you can have SEO plugins just like WordPress.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I've been all up in it. I'm making 5 sites right now. It's super duper cool beans. Let's get this party started. Howdy toddy.
What about my sweat equity? Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Sweat equity.
What about my sweat equity?
We're already recording. Just to let you know, we hit it right from the ground up. You're wearing.
Look at all those books.
I mean, books, but I mean, how can you look past the jacket?
And there's a plant in the back. Oh, the jacket.
You look like a wrestling manager.
Right.
A wrestling manager. No, that's a new one. I haven't gotten that one before.
Jimmy the Tulip Jones, the best there ever was.
Yeah, they used to have the managers get involved in the whole thing.
Absolutely.
The glasses
yeah.
help too. The glasses are also right there with it.
The glasses are right there with it.
Yeah,
That's
we won't
right.
talk about
That's right.
that the whole time.
We were doing our show prep because we're professional, and you're big on this jacket, huh?
Yeah. So our company is Tulip Media, and we help you become the red tulip in the sea of yellow. So that's the inspiration behind the jacket.
The golden.
You'll never get it. Whatever.
Oh, what's the tree called? Spruce, I think that. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Do you have more than one, or is it like Superman with like?
It's like a Superman. No, I've got. It actually started out with the yellow tulip in the sea of red, and then it became the red tulip in the sea of yellow. So I do have a red jacket. It's the exact same thing, but the colors are reversed on the tulips.
Okay, well then I'm gonna need to understand that metaphor better. The in the seas of tulips and whatnot. I haven't heard that.
So whenever I would do presentations in the past, one of the slides that I had is this big sea of yellow tulips, right? And then one red tulip sticking up in the middle of them all. And we're in marketing, so our company will help you stand out from the crowd. We'll help you become the red tulip in the sea of yellow. And that slide is what everybody always remembered. And one time I was invited to speak on a stage in Austin, and I had no visual aids at all. So, we couldn't put any slides up, nothing like this. And I asked the team, I said, how do I make this memorable? And they said, you got to get a jacket that just screams. Use your jacket as your billboard. So we literally had the exact image that I use on the slide. We had that custom printed into fabric and custom made with that fabric.
Oh, that's cool. I
yeah.
was just feeling insecure about like schooling and like I was like, is that part of like literature, history, or something? And I didn't remember.
Nothing that sophisticated.
Okay, it was just a slide.
You didn't miss out on
a
anything.
slide on a presentation. Got it.
Yeah, most people are listening via audio, but you should try to get over to our video on this because we got two really good graphic pieces of attire. You're wearing. I'll try to describe it for the listeners. It looks like a nice image of a field
sport coat.
A field of
If that
tulips.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's a sport coat over a black shirt, but field of tulips with the red pocket square.
Yeah, okay. Didn't see that before.
And then yellow tinted glasses, which either looks like you're like
just got back from the shooting range.
right, yeah, yep.
Or going to the range.
Or wanting to look like Bono, that's what I get.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right,
they need to be
actually,
like
very much so.
They need to be about 4 inches taller. He usually wears the
Yes.
the big.
Yeah.
And then
I'm off a little bit there.
Eric's donning.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite pieces of clothing. It's
iconic.
the solo jazz cups from the 90s.
That's where I know that
That's
pattern
the
from.
design. Yeah.
I love it.
Well,
I'll have to get you one.
and you're
Get me one of them jackets.
where are you zooming in from? I should ask.
I'm actually located in the east coast of Canada. I'm near Halifax.
Oh, okay. Nova
So-
Scotia.
We totally know who that is.
Way
Yep.
out east. Yeah, way out east.
Nova Scotia, right?
Nova Scotia, yeah, the maritime provinces here. Yeah.
Okay. You been to Canada?
He's on. Nope.
You've never been to Canada?
And I never will.
I've been to Vancouver
private
and
reasons.
Montreal. Montreal, not a fan of American guys.
Really?
French-
or was it just you?
I was with the bachelor party, so that didn't help.
Okay,
That made it
you guys
way
were all
worse.
assholes, I'm sure.
That exacerbated everything, but I'm saying like
Exacerbated.
everyone's like, yeah, they're not gonna like y'all if you're just by yourself. Because I got there a day early or something, and I was just walking around. And I was like, excuse me, and they went, they're all French Canadian
Bleh.
asshole.
Bleh.
But I did see an interesting strip club scene where she put
Also called French Canadian
water
assholes.
in and then made a fountain.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
cool.
didn't think that interview would go this way. I'm sorry. We don't know. We couldn't find your hit sheet that we usually get. So we're kind of going raw dog on this. But I think I'm going to ask the last question at the beginning. I don't know if you got to watch this or listen to our show, but we try to ask everybody the first time on, what advice would you give your 13-year-old self?
So and I've heard your question before. The advice I would give my 13-year-old self is that in business and in life, there are so many opportunities that you don't feel like you have to jump on every single one, because wait for the right opportunity. If you don't have the right opportunity in front of you, if you're somebody who is smart, eager, ambitious, the universe will provide opportunities to you, and you just need to wait. You need to be in the right position, and don't be too quick and too impatient, because the right opportunities will be right around the corner.
So
Might be my favorite answer.
Oh, yeah?
So far. Yeah.
really?
Might be.
I have 371 episodes. Nice.
We didn't do it for all those. We forgot sometimes.
Yeah.
And I was bitching and moaning the other time.
Still, that's impressive. I think you guys are like you guys just.
I
like
didn't say that last episode, did I?
What?
This was my favorite one.
No.
Okay, good.
We recorded one. we stacked 2 recordings.
Sometimes I'll say shit and I just don't remember, apparently.
No, it all runs together. It's all pipes. It's so
That happens.
So from that answer, when you grew up, were you someone that? By the way, I like the part. I like it. Like the more good you put out, the more you're going to receive. Kind of. That's one of the things I picked up on your answer. But the other thing is, were you someone that started a lot of projects or started a lot of things and didn't finish them growing up?
I wouldn't say I didn't finish them. I would go on the biggest opportunity that I saw at the moment, and I would not give up. I would not give it up, and I would follow, even if it was a bad idea, I would follow it down a path for too
opposite.
long. And I had a
Okay.
hard time giving things up, actually.
Okay, so so the knowing when to fold them, essentially.
When to
Right.
fold them, and knowing that, this might seem like a good opportunity, but there are going to be, there's no shortage of opportunities, whether you're trying to sell something or, trying to build a business, there's no shortage of opportunities. So you need to be careful to choose the right one. And I was very impatient growing up in business, and I just wanted to do, and I would latch onto something and I'd hang on to that too long, and I'd ignore other opportunities around me, which were much better than what I was working on.
Yeah, I mean, the more I think about the people who are the best at what they do, my theory is they're horrible to hang out with. Like, because they're so focused on that thing, nothing else really matters,
Yeah. They're not a well-rounded person.
Like, I'm sure it would be cool to meet Elon Musk, but
we've talked to plenty of computer people in our life.
Right.
And by computer people, I mean people who act and talk like computers.
Like, if you had to,
Who work with computers or use a computer, they are computers.
I think I have to.
Boring.
Recently, I was like, I just need to pretend I'm obsessed with it, fake it till you make it in my brain.
No, that's okay. That's fine.
Because I've got I used to.
Oh my God, I'm so obsessed.
I used to start
rolling eyes at yourself.
I used to start a lot of things and not finish them, and in the last 7 years, I've really tried to work on finishing whatever I'm starting if it makes sense. But you gotta cut bait sometimes. What's an example of that you dealt with?
So I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. I've never held a real job. I've never had a paycheck from anybody. And I've done several different businesses, but one of the things that I get into was, I at an early age, I get into family business, and it was retail home and garden centers. And, I was really, I think I was pretty good at it, but one of my mentors, and I was in it for about 15 years. And then when I got out, one of my mentors said that, you're really good in a really bad industry. Like, why not be really good in a good industry? Be strategic. And what I've grown an appreciation for is taking the time to plan correctly so that you're working on the right strategy, the right opportunity, instead of, I was an execution guy. I would jump in and I would just do and move things forward, not even thinking if I was on the right path or not, right? There's a saying that says, I think it was Peter Drucker saying, there's nothing more wasteful than being incredibly efficient at doing the wrong thing. And I was doing that.
I like that. Yeah.
So, because I reinvented.
Like everybody, you kick the shit out of yourself for why did I spend so much time doing this? And it wasn't even the direction I wanted to go in.
Yeah, and a mentor of mine, he said, you went into that business because it was your family's business. And those were the expectations at the time, was to come back and run the family business. And it was so true. It wasn't a business that I went after, that I wanted, that I created. It was one that I took over from family. And when I reinvented myself and started Tulip Media, that was something that I love marketing. So when I created that business, it was created by design, finding the opportunity in what was strategically also a really good business. Helping companies grow.
Why do you love marketing?
I love the creativity. I love the challenge. I love big picture strategy. And I see marketing, so many people see marketing as a very tactical kind of activity, right? You place your Google ads, you place your social ads, you do some SEO, do all these social posts and so on, very tactical. But what I love is the strategy behind it. So figuring out, and every good marketing strategy starts with a good business strategy. So when we work with a new client partner, the first session is all about, where do you want to grow the business? You don't have a 3-year plan? Well, let's talk about your 3-year plan, because how can we help you grow your sales into your 3-year plan if you don't have a 3-year plan? So we take a very strategic approach with our marketing. And because of that, we have the services that we do for client partners are, come off a menu, so to speak. We call it it's our menu, but we'll pick different items off that to make a customized program for the client partner. And every business is unique, and every business needs to utilize a different marketing strategy that will allow them to accomplish their business objectives and and move their business strategy forward. And I love that big picture strategy discussion. I love figuring out from a lot of diverse facts what is the right strategy to really focus in on, and then the creativity behind actually creating a marketing campaign or marketing program that will allow that to happen.
Yeah, I think philosophically we're right there with you. You can't, you can't execute without a real plan, and a strategy is really a plan. And if you don't have a business plan, an outline strategy will do. At least that gives, hey, what do you want to do is basically what you're asking. I used to get really frustrated.
Right. How much money do you want to make?
Yeah.
Boiled it down even further.
Why are you here in my office doing a discovery meeting? And more than not, eventually I figured out, I'm going to ask about their personal life, and then I'll kind of open it up in a weird way, because we were working with a lot of really small local businesses. And so that thing where they didn't want to tell you everything.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not going to, who am I going to go tell?
Yeah, no, it's like, do you have anybody else to help you with this? Or
Right.
is this something that you're going to, help with? Are you going to be involved? Or is this something that it'll be all on me? How's this going to go?
Right. And and my background was entrepreneurship and family business management was my undergrad. Family business, that'll make you go entrepreneurial. That'll make you get out. That is really, that is
Very common theme.
And just like a lot of, they say wealth in families doesn't last over 4 generations, typically.
Probably.
The same thing with a business. It's difficult to find someone with the same passion as their parents or have more of it. Let me guess, when you got in with your family working for them, you were doing more of the marketing side, and you found that was your thing.
Yeah, and I always loved marketing. I always really enjoyed the creativity and just what marketing can do when done right to generate interest and to generate new leads and people knocking down the door, so to speak, to want to do business with you when it's done right.
Yeah, marketing gets a bad rap. It's the first thing to get cut, which seems like it's looming anytime now. I feel like I can already feel businesses pulling back, speculating a recession coming. Because I don't know. I don't think it is, but
it depends on the industry.
I don't know. I feel like kind of like COVID when everybody pulled back all at the same time, kind of thing. I feel it like they're trying to almost predict when it's coming. There's a lot of hiring stopped, and I feel like a lot of marketing has been pulled back from the stuff I've read already. And I always tell everybody it's a percentage in your income statement. It's not a flat line thing. It's not a cost to be cut, because if no one knows you exist, you don't exist.
Right. Might
Exactly.
maybe spend more?
Right.
So I'll tell you what we did a few years ago, and this is the story that so our book. So Jessica, my co-author, we're in Tulip as well. Her
Where's
and I
our
wrote
book?
Double Sales, Zero Salespeople. Yeah, we co-wrote this, and the whole idea behind it was it was actually before the pandemic in 2019. We were growing the business, and it was growing really rapidly for a few years, but then it started to slow down. And we had this big sales team that was costing a fortune. We had a sales manager and a whole team of salespeople doing hundreds of phone calls a day, emails, all these outbound reaches and all this stuff. And I went in, and I remember it was again, thinking strategically, and made the really, really, really tough decision. We went in one afternoon and let the entire sales team go in one fell swoop. So here we were, a company that was still growing an upward trajectory with no salespeople overnight, from 7 people down to 0. And what we did is, when I gathered the team together to explain what we did, I said, we're going to move to this, and I called it at the time, automated sales process. We had a young student, intern, co-op student, a marketing student, and he was there for the summer, and I said, you know what, let's just, I believe we can do this. We can figure this out. And at the time, we were doing a lot of print marketing and different things. We were just really getting into digital, but we dove into it head first. And we had this young marketing guy who basically believed anything was possible. And we started experimenting, and we found what we knew. We had some ideas and theories of what worked, but we really started to hone in. And they said, well, I said, we're not going to do from this day forward. We went from doing hundreds of outbound phone calls a day to 0. And I said, we're not going to do any more cold calls as a company. No more. And what we did was we basically turned on and figured out in our unique way that we put everything together, online digital marketing that brought in inbounds. And the only time we converse with people is when they reached out to us because they wanted to learn about what we were doing. So we went from all these outbound calls to only accepting inbound calls. And we actually had the production people take those calls, because who better to talk about marketing than marketing specialists, not salespeople, marketing specialists. Get the people that really know the product or the service that you're doing.
Yeah, you can coach them up. Yeah, the knowledge is tough to elaborate on, especially when you get in the nitty gritty with someone. You know,
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you, you know, depending on your approach, but
Absolutely.
it's kind of that thing, you want to bring people into your essence.
Right. Well, I was sitting there thinking, yeah, you're a marketing company.
Right.
Spend it on digital ads.
Right.
Boom.
And you do
And
short
make money off it.
short term and long term at the same time. That's always been the duality I see with the tactical side. Like doing ads is very direct. It's very instant. People are coming to you with intent, so you're probably qualifying them by the audience already. But you know,
That's right.
it's one of those things where the long game. You wrote a book. That's something you can leverage with your co-author in Babe, Jessica Embry.
Yeah.
I know it says she's married, so I won't say.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm not
even
going
see
up to
it.
Canada.
All I see is.
Oh, sorry.
Now I can't react. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna get married soon, so I'll say it. She's a babe. No. And so it's one of those things where, tell me about that decision to, you know, you didn't see it full throttle, right? You didn't do what you did when you were 13. You did the thing where you go, okay, this isn't working, and you cut the fat and had to reconfigure everything. Was that a lot of anxiety? Tell us about that time you were doing that, because I'm always interested in the entrepreneurial fear, the fear of the unknown. I think that's always the most interesting part of that endeavor, you know.
And that's one of the things. And you know, I do a lot of business coaching too, and you know, and talk with different people. And one of the things that I always tell people are you willing to, and that's the way we looked at what we did at that time is, are you willing to destroy what's good in the pursuit of something great? And that was truly destroying what was good, because it was working. It just wasn't working to the extent that we needed it to work. And it didn't have the return. And so are you willing to destroy what's good in the pursuit of something great? And, you know, I bring up the story too, because, you know, you mentioned about marketing being so important, but one of the first things that's cut. Well, we're living proof that we actually doubled down on our marketing and cut the entire sales team. Like if really tough, you know, if you have really tough times, maybe you need a different business strategy. Maybe you need a different go-to-market strategy. And maybe marketing is where you need to invest, but cut something else that you traditionally deemed that you could not live without.
Yeah. You know, we talk about it in branding or rebranding for clients, but it's like, who are we? What are we doing? What the fuck? You have to really go.
Who am I?
I kind of flippantly would say to a lot of people, you need to go camping and do mushrooms and then really
Right.
figure out, because you are the business a lot of the times.
A lot of one and done meetings after that, but whatever.
No, they like my candor.
Yeah. We would never pay you money to do a job, but
I did it. I actually said it specifically because it had sticking power. Like his jacket, it has sticking power. It's a thing that it might be uncouth, but it's still one of those things that
it's fine. I liked it.
Yeah, no, I there's no.
I don't
better-
want to work with somebody who's not going to eat mushrooms anyway. So.
Eric, your shirt has sticking power too.
Oh,
Right.
thank you. It is
Aw.
sticking to my.
I love that.
So, what do you see going forward now? Like, what do you see coming down the pike for marketing? Like, are we going into another kind of? I don't know how Canada's economics work, in relation to ours. I assume pretty close. Do you feel that coming on? I just say a feeling, like it's an intuition. I'm reading stuff. I just see things. I see what people post on LinkedIn and stuff, and you're like, it feels like stuff's getting pulled back again.
Yeah.
And that's out of fear. A lot of people do that because of fear, and they can't be stoic about it. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So first of all, we do most of our business is actually in the U.S. Like we're located in Canada, but we do 95% of our businesses with American client partners and across the country. And what we find is that I do believe that there's a slowdown coming. With inflation going up, the interest rates going up, all of these things are going to slow down the economy somewhat, which is probably not a bad thing necessarily. Some people are going to be scared, but in business, and you talk a lot about the entrepreneurial journey, and to be an entrepreneur, you need to be bold enough to believe in your vision and to go after it. And for those companies, those client partners that we work with who are confident in what they're doing, they're confident in their strategy, and they're willing to invest in their future, when everybody else is clawing back, that's the best time to invest. That's the best time to try to gain market share when other people are retracting a little bit. It's absolutely, it's recessions for entrepreneurs always provide opportunities. Mm-hmm. Recessions hit, the big blue chip companies, the big behemoths. They hurt those. They tend to hurt those companies, but at the benefit of the entrepreneurial companies who are bold enough to go after the business. Yeah, so I think it's going to be an exciting time. Anytime there's volatility, there's always opportunity.
So you start a tent company, like something, when you lose your house.
Yeah, I mean,
live outdoors.
I like that you
fishing rods.
Y'all have American clients, and you're in Canada for that universal healthcare. That's nice. I like that.
Actually, I'm curious. Have you seen any differences in the United States and Canadian clients?
No. Canada is 1/10 the size of the U.S. in population, and we're 1/10 your size in our economy. So basically, whatever happens in the U.S. happens in Canada by default.
Trickle up.
We're your biggest trading partner, but you're ours. But what the difference is that we're just a small percentage of your trading. We still represent your largest trading partner, but for Canada and the U.S., you're all of our trading, most of it. So we do follow the U.S. economies when they're the ups and the downs.
Man,
with every bad, there's a good, right? I kind of call myself an aggressive optimist. I've been told I'm kind of intense, but I feel like I don't. Talking to you, I don't feel like you have any bad days. Are you overall positive all the time like this?
100%.
Let's bring you to the dark side.
You have to be. How can you have a bad day in that jacket?
Yeah, you have to
That's funny.
Someone has to call you an asshole. But someone has to call you an asshole or a hoser or something in that jacket, and you got to be like, it's a marketing thing. Sticking power, just yelling back.
Right. You may call me a name, but you'll remember me tonight or tomorrow morning. So it's done its job. No, I think every entrepreneur, in order to be an entrepreneur, you need to see the glass half full, because otherwise you would not do what you're doing, right? You would not go after your dreams.
Right. I'll start a business. It'll probably fail, but I'll start it.
Right.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, you have to believe in it. Yeah.
You have to believe in it. Yeah.
And then
absolutely.
And any bad habit like that, you sublimate it. Anything you're doing behaviorally that isn't working, you have to turn that into a good thing. Well,
and that's another thing too. I'm a big believer in having a life by design, and entrepreneurs, they do that by nature, right? you can choose what kind of a life you want. You can design your own life. Yeah, there's a few things you can't control, but you can always control how you react to those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you
Very
can
good.
have
Yes,
your life by
love
design,
that.
and I'm a huge believer in that.
I was telling my daughter
Stoicism.
that. I was telling my daughter that the other
Beautiful.
day. I go, look, she's wailing, she's 4, but she's having a
Yep.
tantrum. She had four tantrums in the morning before we left for school.
Somebody's keeping score.
Well, I was like, this is a record. And she's just like, I woke up, I'm not having a good
What's
day.
a record?
She's like, I'm not having a good day. Oh, she knows. She's half Asian. Come on.
She said she's having a good day.
She's not having a
Oh,
I'm just
not-
not having a good day, Daddy.
They're both funny.
And I go, well, look.
It's not funny. She's cute, but
Well, no, it was funny. And so I was just like, look, this is one of the best things I can tell you, and I'll tell you your whole life. Like, you might be having a really bad day, and you can always tell me about it, but you don't have to take it out on anybody else. And you don't have to put it out there.
especially me.
If there's ways to talk about it and cope with it. And then she yelled at me, and I had to
Right.
put her in timeout. Yeah, she's an alpha chick. But
It's a long con.
for anybody listening, what tips do you have if someone's trying, like, we like to really talk to that audience on the show that is in the full-time job they hate, is working for the weekend, it has some ideas, is kind of rudderless. What would you say to them? What tips do you have out there?
So, for one thing, if you're working for the weekend, you're not living. You've got to enjoy your life. Like I said, life by design. You've got to enjoy what you're doing every day. So what you do for a living, which is where you spend a huge portion of your waking hours, needs to be in doing something that you enjoy doing. So if you're doing a 9-to-5 job that you're not enjoying, but you have these ideas, those ideas are what inspires you. You just think of your energy when you think about going to work Monday morning, or this idea that I have for this business. Like, what gives you more energy? Because when you start working on your passion, when you start working on your business, and you make that entrepreneurial leap, you will have more energy than you knew you had in you, because you're energized by what you're doing. So go out there and do it. Now, as far as what to do, I'm a firm believer that you look at any successful person, nobody has done it alone. Nobody has. Even the solo entrepreneurs out there, they have mentors, they have peer groups, they have people that they can lean on when they don't have the answer to a question, that they can say, I'm stuck. Does anybody have any advice? And, whether that's, having those mentors, go up. I've always been a big believer. I've never had a problem going up and just asking people that I really admire if they would mentor me in one area of business that they have a specialty in or another. And people that are really successful, what's amazing is for younger, energetic entrepreneurs starting out, people who are successful feel this debt to society that they're more. I've never had anyone turn me away when I've asked them for advice or to get together because I'm dealing with an issue, with banks or something like this, getting more credit, and I know the guy I want to talk to. They will always take your call, and they will always sit down with you. So get together with mentors, or even just as powerful, get together with peer groups. So getting started in business alone, there's a worldwide organization called Entrepreneurs Organization, and I've been a member 18 years. But if you don't qualify for Entrepreneurs Organization, they have an Entrepreneur Organization's Accelerator program, EO Accelerator. And join that. Get together with other people just starting out in business. And they'll put a cohort of 6 or 8 or 10 people just starting out in business together to support one another, along with a mentor, a more senior, successful business person that can help guide you through your pitfalls. Because there will be challenges.
Like a business matchmaking company. Yeah?
It's kind of like a business matchmaking company. And you work with
I've
always had these mastermind groups, always been a part of one or two of them. And there are places you can go to when you're thinking about those big questions, or you have a big challenge and you're wondering, like, what do I do here? I have no experience. Somebody's trying to sue me. What do I do? Well, lean on people that have been sued before and get some advice from people that have gone through that.
Yeah, be aggressively curious.
Aggressively
try
curious.
to find the answers.
Most people love to feel smart.
Yeah. No, look, I've never been turned down to either when I've asked for advice.
Oh,
from
I
anybody.
always give advice, even if I don't have good advice.
I'll give it all day
I'll just
long.
Start talking. I just start saying stuff.
No one
Where
wants
is this
it.
coming from? Right? No, he's just talking.
That's why I call it old man advice you didn't ask for it, and I preface it that way, and then I say what I'm going to say anyway. But I'm meeting with mentor tomorrow, Mr. D.
At
Akers.
gunpoint. Oh.
No, I'm going to have breakfast with him. For nothing in particular, I think it's a good refresher. He's always going to challenge me whenever we
might be done for some breakfast.
You want to come to Shannon tomorrow?
Maybe.
All right, 8:00. That's where all the players are at. We'll keep this local conversation off mic. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Tulip Media, tulipmediagroup.com. We'll put links to everything in the episode description.
Yeah, and actually, if I can, we have
Just kidding. Go ahead.
Nope.
That's the worst joke ever, dude.
We do have a page. Like if anybody's interested in learning more at tm.media/double sales. tm.media/double sales. That's where people can buy the book or download a free chapter, or if they want to talk about marketing strategy, they can book a call with myself or a free call with myself or Jessica, my co-author, and we'll jump on a Zoom call and talk marketing strategy with anybody who wants to.
Hey, just jumping in there at the end shows the guy knows marketing.
Yeah.
Law was ready to get out. And you're like, hold on one second.
You had a call to action. I didn't prep. And what is it? Failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Maybe read the sentence next time.
Isn't that what it is?
I don't know.
All right. Appreciate you coming on. We'll put all the links in the call to action in the episode description. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you, guys. It's good to meet you.